Have you ever seen a video that's so absurd it makes you question the sanity of the entire internet? One that sticks with you for all the wrong reasons, that makes you so angry you want to pull your hair out. What if I told you that was exactly the point? This is the insane world of rage bait. Rage bait. It's a deliberate, calculated move to provoke anger for one simple reason: engagement. These creators know exactly what they're doing. Their goal is to make content so infuriating, so ridiculous, you can't resist engaging. You comment on how stupid they are. You share, or maybe even tag a friend to marvel in the absurdity, all while they sit back watching their engagement numbers rise. But why is it so effective? Why do these videos make us so mad we just have to react? To answer that, we have to dig into the very wiring of the human mind. Humans are wired to react more strongly to negative stimuli than positive. This is called negativity bias. It's a survival mechanism that helps protect us from danger. When you think about it logically, it makes sense. Misunderstanding a positive stimuli, like eating a good meal or having a great conversation, might lead to some uncomfortable moments, but nothing life-threatening. On the other hand, not responding quickly to a lion around a corner can lead to, well, let's just say a bad time. So being able to react to negative stimuli is ultimately a lot more beneficial for our survival than reacting to positive stimuli. This is why feeling anger, anxiety, and fear are often stronger than happiness and comfort. These emotions are deeply embedded into our psyche, shaping our responses to threats. And these content creators know exactly which psychological buttons to push to trigger your fight or flight instincts. Unfortunately, most of us online choose to fight, giving them the engagements they desperately crave. One thing people often ask is, how exactly can you differentiate between rage bait and someone's genuine opinions about an issue? And the truth is, there's really no way to be sure. But if a piece of content is being intentionally as divisive as possible with no room for nuance, it's most likely rage bait. Let me show you what I mean. How to tell it's rage bait. First off, I should really apologize. To fully explain how to tell something is rage bait, I'm gonna have to show you some examples. Unfortunately, I had to research hundreds of these kind of videos researching this topic, and trust me, the ones I chose are the least offensive ones I could find. But if you really don't want to see any of this, I completely understand. You can actually skip this section by going to this timestamp. For the rest of us psychopaths, shall we?
Milk! Creamer! 1 pound sugar!
Today, I'm going to be saying the N-word for the first time in my life. Since my birth, I just wanted to say it, so I'm so excited. Oh my god. Alright, 3, 2, 1, neighbors.
I just pulled up my bank account and seen that you spent $800 last night when you ordered a bunch of shit on my card. Stop, let's go.
I don't really care if I spent 1,000.
So I'm in the shopping centre and I'm doing a little donation in the vending machine.
I think it's okay that men cheat on their wives with you.
100%.
Why?
Because women are lazy. If you ask the average person when's the last time your wife went down on them, they're going to say it's ages ago.
If men can't control themselves, seeing women in skirts, who let them control whole countries?
Rage bait isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's an ecosystem of categories, each designed to hit us where it hurts. These categories play on different emotions, but the goal is always the same: to get a reaction. Let's break down some of the most common types of rage bait, starting with one of the worst. Category 1, the horrible human. This is the horrible human category, where creators gain attention by simply being awful people. Take Alpha Dom, a so-called dating coach whose entire strategy is to preach outdated misogynistic ideas about female psychology.
You do not have to accept her rejection. I'm a professional dating coach and I teach guys how to understand the female mind.
Let me give you a bit of a warning. If you start to watch any kind of male-dominated content and they refer to women as females, run the other way. But going back to Alpha Dom, do you really think he's genuinely trying to teach men about relationships? No. He knows that his words will infuriate women, spark arguments, and generate shares. His end game isn't to spread knowledge, it's to get a rise out of people. And And as long as his controversial opinions keep the comment section buzzing, he's winning. Lots of influencers do this. Literally almost every single kick streamer falls under this category. I'm actually making a video on that platform soon, by the way, so get subscribed if you're not already. Be sure to like this video if you feel like you learned anything. Category 2. The waste offenders. In a world where lots of people don't have enough to live, one of the easiest way to induce rage is to waste things. Like that barefoot couple who cut the soles off of their $20,000 shoe collection just to walk everywhere barefoot.
Husband and I have removed the bottoms of all of our shoes. We decided to start walking barefoot, and one of our followers had a great idea. Since some businesses don't want us being completely barefoot, if we cut off the bottom of our shoes, it'll allow us to be barefoot but blend in with everyone else. Our shoe collection is worth more than $20,000.
You can tell this is rage bait because there was no logical reason for them to de-sole their entire shoe collection. Even if they wanted to go completely barefoot and maintain some semblance of normalcy, why didn't they do this to a pair or two? Why every single shoe in their closet? And why tell us how much the shoes cost? They mention the price so you can get enraged. How can someone waste that much money? How can they destroy such perfectly good shoes? The more of those kind of comments come through, the more attention they get. There are also people who, under pretense of making a recipe, will mix absurd amounts of ingredients into concoctions they never intend to eat, or make something in an impractical dish like a toilet. Like this person claiming to make their grandma's recipe, but it's so bizarrely thrown together that it's obvious it'll just end up in the trash. And just to clarify how bad things are right now, according to the USDA, food prices have risen by 25% from 2019 to 2023, and food insecurity, meaning people don't know how they're going to obtain food for at least one meal a day due to financial insecurity, reached 13.5% of all Americans in 2023. With people struggling to afford food, the sight of these wasteful creations feels like an insult. But that's the point. The outrage fuels engagement, and they continue making money. Category 3. The fake and scripted drama. Then there's the fake and scripted drama.
Does he realize that we can see literally who he's talking to?
I can't.
Does that
what do I say? No, I'm so serious. What do I say?
What?
No, I'm actually gonna throw up. This is just turn off. Who was that?
No, that was my mom.
You were just talking to your mom on the phone?
Yeah. Just like that.
What do you have your mom and your phone as?
Mother?
You sure about that?
Yes, my mom in my phone is mother.
So why were you just talking to Blonde Date?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
These videos are the most deceptive, often looking like a genuine moment, but carefully scripted to provoke a reaction. These creators may pretend they're experiencing some crisis or shocking event, but watch closely. Awkward cuts, overreacted reactions, and a suspiciously perfect camera angle give them away. It's all staged, but for viewers, it's hard to tell the difference, and that's how these videos draw people in, sparking debate over whether it's real or fake. The one I always end up seeing is the one on the fake airplane.
You're overstepping your boundaries. Yeah, you are, and you really starting to piss me off.
Overstepping my boundaries by letting your kid.
No, my kid is just fine. My kid is fine. Turn around. No.
A good way to spot this is, while they have the proper seating and general vibe of an airplane, they use those cheap $5 LED light strips you can find at Walmart. For whatever reason, they spent all their money on the chairs and decided to skimp on the lights. The truth is, it doesn't matter whether the creator intentionally creates rage bait or if that's just their genuine opinion. Because, as we'll find out later in the video, whether it's real or fake, our bodies produce the same response to rage bait, which is terrible for our mental health. Before we look at the consequences, though, we have to talk about the real cause of the rage bait epidemic: the rage bait economy. It would be easy to sit here and blame content creators making angry or inducing content, and while we certainly should, we also need to understand that the rise of rage bait is primarily caused by social media platforms, and these influencers are only reacting to the existing market. Meta, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, every single social media platform has one mission: to keep you hooked. Because the longer you stay engaged with the platform, the more ads you see, and the more money they make. These platforms have figured out something crucial. What really keeps you coming back is emotion, and there's no stronger emotion than anger. Frances Haugen spent 15 years working for the biggest social media companies in the world. After quitting Facebook in 2021, she exposed internal documents from the company that showed it incentivizes angry, polarizing, and divisive content because that's what drives the most engagements. All of this is codified into the algorithms of these platforms. When they detect that a post is getting attention, especially if it's sparking debates or outrage, that piece of content gets pushed out to a wider audience. Because in the world of social media, engagement is currency and rage is a gold mine. Think about it. Most of the rage bait videos you see on your feed are from creators you don't even follow. It's because those videos cause so much outrage that the platforms share it to more and more people. The algorithm doesn't care about your values, opinions, or even your sanity. It cares about one thing: engagement. And rage bait content is engineered to exploit exactly that. When you have a system that's set up like this, the incentives for creators becomes crystal clear. Rage bait content has proven time and time again to go viral faster than almost anything else. Each like, comment, and share tells the algorithm that this content is valuable and that people want to see more. And so it becomes a self-feeding cycle. Creators post outrageous content, viewers react, and the algorithm pushes it further. And soon enough, they're rewarded with views, follows, and ultimately revenue. These profit-seeking megacorporations have become so disconnected from the world that they don't care how much they hurt their users as long as it brings them profit. And the influencers who actively game this system to rise to the top should definitely share in the blame, especially considering the fact that rage bait is terrible for humanity, with real-world consequences like emotional dysregulation. Anger activates the brain cell's response to stress and releases cortisol and adrenaline. Constant exposure to rage bait can desensitize your emotional regulation and impair emotional resilience. In simple words, it makes it more difficult to control your emotions. You start struggling with anger management issues, and you're sad even during times you're supposed to be happy. If you think what you watch on social media doesn't affect your mood in real life, you'd be wrong. In 2014, Facebook took part in a really controversial study where they manipulated nearly 700,000 users' feed, drastically reducing negative posts for some while doing the same to positive posts for others. The research, led by Adam Kramer, found that when positive expressions were reduced, people produced fewer positive posts and more negative posts. When negative expressions were reduced, the opposite pattern occurred. This controversial study showed a clear link between social media content you consume and the thoughts and emotions you produce. Essentially, the more rage bait you consume, the angrier you become as a person. If this gets bad enough, it can cause dopamine dysregulation, where anger hijacks the dopamine system and you essentially become addicted to rage. You like the feeling of being angry, even when you shouldn't be. This can negatively affect your relationships, your work, and your mental health. So, what can we do about it? I like to end my videos with solutions. I think simply talking about negative things without offering a way out is just another form of rage bait, only with a moral high ground. But honestly, it was really difficult to find a realistic solution on a societal scale to the problem of rage bait. There's too much money in social media that it's unrealistic to expect any of these platforms to change their algorithms, especially because they can always hide under the guise of, we simply show viewers the videos they want to watch. As long as these platforms incentivize it, the creators will create it. Hell, some might even describe my entire channel as a form of rage bait. After all, I talk more about the negative side of social media, even if I try to provide a more balanced and nuanced conversation. But the thumbnail and titles still need to be catchy, and the best way to do that is, well, make people feel something. But it's not all doom and gloom, because while we may not be able to stop it entirely, we do have the power to take over how it affects us individually. It starts with awareness. Recognize rage bait for what it is, a manipulative strategy designed to hijack your emotions and waste your mental energy. When you come across a post that feels manufactured to provoke you, resist the urge to engage. Scroll past it. Don't comment. Don't share it. Hell, block that creator if it's bad enough. Each time you refuse to react, you're taking power away from the creators and the algorithms that thrive on your anger. Consider curating your feeds to prioritize creators and content that genuinely enrich your day. See Seek out those who bring value, insight, or simply share a moment of positivity, and unfollow those who seem to only stir up frustration. Take control of the experience so it works for you, not against you. It's called the For You page, after all. And remember, next time you come across a piece of content designed to make you angry, just scroll by. Don't give in to the engagement it craves, because at the end of the day, there's one simple rule to break the cycle. Don't feed the trolls.